This is tutorial number 167, and it covers the Tapering Flex feature within SOLIDWORKS. To start off, open tutorial part number 164, which is located on the DVD. Now once you have it open and loaded, let's go to the Flex feature. So click Insert, click Features, click Flex, and let's select the tapering, and we're going to select the body that we're going to work on. It's going to be this body here. And again, like all the other previous flex features, we have the trim plane, the two trim planes, and a bending, or in this case, tapering axis. So what happens in a tapering is from one plane to the other, it's going to taper to a certain ratio. So this here is the ratio that we're going to play with. So as you increase it and decrease it, it's going to change one side to another. So in this case, whatever is in between the two trim planes is going to be tapered by that ratio. So let's put a ratio of 1. And you can see how it tapers from a large to a small. So both ends get adjusted. So the trim plane 1, everything gets smaller. Trim plane 2, everything gets larger. So let's just accept this and see what we get. And you can see how the taper works here, how it tapers from this object to that object up there. Now let's go back and let's edit some of the trim plane. So let's click Edit Feature. And if we move the trim planes around, let's move both to 50. You can see how the end result has adjusted a bit. So when this was at 0, it's a lot smaller. As we bring it up to 50, it's going to get bigger. So we put both to 50. Let's click OK. And now everything in between here again gets tapered, and the end results change a little bit too. If you notice, this is still straight and it's a normal tube, and so is this bit here, but it's all going to be proportional. So there's no taper on the ends here anymore, but this is going to be proportional to this. So as this has kind of grown, this is going to grow. And at the other end of the spectrum, as this is shrunk, so is this guy going to shrink. So it's just created a taper between the two here. Now let's delete this flex, and let's put in another one. Let's click Insert, click Feature, click Flex, and let's click Taper again. Now let's click this, and this time let's turn this to 90 degrees, and let's create a taper. And this time you can see that it's, if we put it up to 1, it's tapering these two ends down. So in between these two planes, again, whatever's in between the two planes, everything's going to get tapered. So let's click OK. And you can see how each of these sides have been tapered down, and the tube in the middle has really stayed the same. It's just added like these little bits of taper at the end. Now if we go and edit this again, let's bring these planes in a bit. So let's bring it to 50 and 50. Click OK. And again, you can see everything that's in between those planes gets changed, but outside of it stays the same. So these guys got tapered, and these guys stayed the same. So with the taper feature, it works again kind of like the bending, except that from one plane to another, it's going to taper with the ratio that you give it. And that concludes our tutorial on the Tapering Flex feature within SOLIDWORKS.